Oh, okay. So, I know I vibe a lot of crackhead energy on this channel, but I just read something that blew my crackhead mind. All right, Hot Rod magazine strapped leaf blowers, one or two. I don't remember. I just read it, man. I'm still blown away reading this. They strapped a leaf blower to a V8 Corvette and made boost. So, I'm gonna go on Craigslist after finishing reading this article, and I'm 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 buying a leaf blower off somebody. All right, that's all I'm saying. So they talked about how the backpack ones are too heavy and impractical, but I mean, if you look out there, that's one I'm actually repairing right now for a friend of ours who has a farm, and I can't find the carb for it. They don't like make it or some BS. Why won't my okay. So yeah, I'm fixing that one for a neighbor, or not a neighbor really, but just a friend of ours, and so I can't use that one unfortunately. It's also pretty big, and I mean there's probably enough room in the engine bay, but come on, I mean it's pretty big. So I'm gonna look at like the little portable ones, like the handheld ones, not the electric ones, but like the gas, like vom, vom, and like see if I can like pin it at like wide open throttle and pull out my tuner and see if it can make boost, because these guys managed to do it on an LS engine, you know, like drinking air, and that's four more cylinders with well, not twice the displacement, but oh come on. I need a new phone, like it's actually broken, but yeah, it's like almost twice the displacement, I think 4.2 liter or something like that. So I was like gonna buy $600 suspension shocks and do a video on how to install them, but now I can turbocharge my car with a separate engine. Bruh, crackhead energy, I know, but I need this in my life. I'm going on Craigslist right now. Okay, so here's the crackhead article. All right, Hot Rod magazine used two leaf blowers to turbocharge, well, supercharge, I guess, an '83 Corvette. The the crackhead energy, I'm vibing so hard with it. All right, so I pulled up leaf blowers, and you know I'm looking. I don't know what I'm gonna get yet, but it needs to be gasoline, whatever it is. I don't think an electric one will have enough CFMs unless I can find one with super high CFMs. That would be incredible. Imagine that, an electric leaf blower to turbocharge a car. Whoa. All right. So we're on the way to pick up a leaf blower, and this is Pops over here. So tell me, how do you feel about me putting a leaf blower in the engine bay of my car?
I'm really excited about it because what it means to me, my understanding is there will be no leaves under the hood of your car. Correct?
Yeah, sure, yep, now, we're going out into the middle of nowhere to pick up a leaf blower. Are you afraid of getting mugged?
What exit?
182.
No, I'm not afraid. They don't mug at exit 182.
Are you sure?
Yes. 179, a lot of muggings. So we're okay.
All right, good to hear. And finally, do you approve?
Of what we're about to do?
Yes. Do you approve of slamming a secondary engine into an engine bay of another car's engine?
I'm confident that you've done the proper research, and that once you've completed the assembly and we go for a ride, it will put a smile on my face.
Well, fast things don't exactly put a smile on your face. I mean, we're barely going the speed limit right now.
We're going, 75 miles an hour.
Well, hopefully it does, because it's hard to put a smile on that face, especially with fast things. You don't like fast things, do you?
No.
No.
Just microwaves.
Just. All right. I'll get back to you in a minute.
I like
So as soon as I finished recording that last clip, we literally drove by a 2017 Honda Accord Sport. I recognized the rims and everything for my car, and it was broke down on the side of the road. Is it a sign? Probably. Am I gonna go through with it anyways? Absolutely. Do you think it's a sign?
No.
All right, well, you heard it here. It's not a sign. It's a sign. All right, check it. I got it right here. Started up on the first crank when I tried it out, and it's really clean. Like, there's a little bit of dirt and grime down there, but other than that, this thing is really in good shape. But yeah, gonna tear this thing apart. It's not super heavy, but you know, kind of heavy. But overall, I mean, pretty small. And once I get all this fairing off and everything, it'll be even smaller. Now it's got a choke and a throttle, and the throttle stays open, right? So if I want it half throttle or I want it minimum, it'll stay open at where I want it. Cruise control, I'm pretty sure, is what it would be designated as. And I'm gonna tear this thing apart, and gosh, I'm crazy. What am I even doing, man? So I got the front cover off, and look at this. This is the exhaust, right? Intake, combustion exhaust. The exhaust pipe goes back into the blower. That is unacceptable. So that's gonna have to be like done up in another direction or something, because you know I don't want exhaust gases like going back in. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that this front fairing piece, like this part right here at least, houses a lot of the blowing element. I mean, you can just see it does. So that won't be able to come off. However, I'm gonna look around and see what else will come off. Alright, so I got the back popped off. This piece right here goes right there. But yep, you can see this is definitely an exhaust pipe. It's got some build up there. So yep, I'm gonna have to relocate that somehow without, you know, probably gonna cover that up with something too, just so nothing gets through it. And then figure out if there are any other loose ends I need to cover up so no air escapes. So I decided naturally the best course of action would be to take the exhaust off. Now it's pretty loud, but it's not super loud. It's actually only, well, it's a bit louder than it was before, but it's quite a bit louder, but not stupidly loud. Anyways, I'm gonna take this back shell back off. I'm gonna tape this back up as thoroughly as I can. That little hole right there. And then I'm gonna start looking for mounting points. See where it would be feasible to attach to my car. Alright, so it's the next day, and well, I just did a little mock-up. I pulled off my intake and just slapped this down here. A little bit of a clearance issue here. Shouldn't be a big deal. It'll, you know, just gotta take the battery stud off, and then it'll just, you know, go down there. It'll sit down nicely. This fits up really nicely here. Only problem, mass airflow sensor is on this part of the piping. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make this pipe, or at least get my mass airflow sensor back in somewhere here, so we'll actually have mass airflow data. After that, well, I mean, we're getting somewhere. Got to put a pipe off of the end of this exhaust. Also got to gut the exhaust because it's still full of a mesh, and you know that's just going to restrict it a bit. And after that, I mean, we're getting closer. The intake would be right here. You know, kind of a bad position, a little bit restrictive. I also have to clean this whole thing off because, you know, it's still like dirty and I don't want any of that getting into my engine. But we're getting somewhere. Slowly, but we're getting somewhere. Alright, well, here it is. I got the tubing, got it all hooked up, and the car runs, but my mass airflow sensor is not plugged in, so I got a bunch of check engine lights. It's probably running really rich, etc. So I need to find a way to get that. I'm probably going to cut it really short, try to get that in line somewhere there, which means this whole thing's going to have to move backwards, so I'm probably going to have to cut this back a lot too, like right there, so it'll fit in nicely. But I'm going to do some measurements, figure out what I need to do, and see if I can get that mass airflow sensor in. It also is too big, so the hood doesn't shut, but you know, that's only a minor inconvenience really. Okay, so I actually had it in there and running for a bit, but it was weird because I was able to overcome like the high intake temperature stuff by just clearing the codes and turning this guy on because, you know, the engine was hot and it was heating the air up as it went through. But for some reason I was getting codes for the ABS system and the tire pressure monitoring system. So I pulled it off and now they're gone, which is just weird. I don't know why. So because of that, I gotta go for now. Gonna end this video off here. But if you want to see this completed in its final form when it's all done and dusted, well, you gotta stick around, you gotta subscribe, and I'll see you around and I'll see you later. Adios. Also, I'm pretty sure this guy right here overheated. It turned off just for no reason when I was testing. Ow, hot. Yeah, exactly, hot. So that's also gonna have to be something I need to consider. Obviously, keeping temperatures down on something like that is a hell of a lot easier than it's gonna seem. Put that there. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to keep that little guy cool. Obviously, if I'm driving down the street, it's gonna stay cool on its own. But if I'm idling, it doesn't like it. It doesn't like it all that much. So, for things like the drag strip, getting it turned on at the last possible moment and making sure it's cold when I start up will be of utmost importance. But for now, I gotta figure out what else I want to do with it. Because, well, I got my tuner and everything, and it was bringing down the map, the manifold absolute pressure. It usually idles at around 10.5, and you know, it's supposed to stay really negative like that, just because of the way it's set up, the way the throttle body opens, the door. But no, actually went down to 8.6. So down at 8.6 means it was making a difference and it was creating pressure in the manifold, which is cool. And it was obviously doing all crazy stuff to the RPM, and the car was having trouble trying to figure it out. It was trying to relearn it. You know, it was getting there though, until the little blower overheated. It is running rich. I know for a fact it's running rich. So leaning it out, once I get that tool to adjust the fuel on that carburetor, because I got a new one for it, but it's running rich obviously, because, you know, brand new, it's set to the richest setting. Once I lean it out, that could honestly just totally fix the problem, and I might have nothing else to worry about after that. But for now, that's all, folks. You know, once again, sorry I didn't get much footage, but the next video, part 2, definitely gonna be more footage. Later.